Welcome to Pittsburgh Chatter, where I do interviews where I want, whenever I want, with who I want. And hold on. Name me one rapper who's popping in Pittsburgh that's not a trap rapper. AvatarBenji. Name me another. When I said this, you were the first person that came to mind. I know you've seen the clip, so let's just start there. When you seen it, what was your first expression? Like, I want to know how you really felt, because you commented immediately.
I honestly, I died laughing, and shout out to Hendy, because I've known of him for a very long time. I mean, it's hard not to, you know what I mean? It's I didn't take it as like anything disrespectful. Like we kind of talked about earlier, like there's people in this city who know exactly who I am, and there's people who don't. That's no slight, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
But he said not a trap rapper.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I didn't want to like hype you up too much, because the interview was about him. I was like, and I was going to say after, he's a musician. Like, he's levels above. Like, plays instruments, but we'll get into all of it. All right, so let's start at the name, because, of course, there's two different types of avatar. Of course, I know which one you're basing it off of, but tell people how you came up with the name and why you specifically chose Avatar.
Yeah, I think realistically it started when I changed my artist name to Benji, which is my middle name from Benjamin. And it was my mom's nickname for me when I was a child. I hated it. Everybody in my family, not everybody, that's crazy. My brother, my dad, and my grandfather, their names are John. Their first names are John. My first name is Ian. I was pissed. I'm like, yo, why I gotta be the odd one out? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy. And so my mom would always call me Benji and have her little nicknames for me, and I would hate it. And then, as I was growing into my music and I was finding a sound that was getting really consistent, it felt necessary to really give the music and the artistry and everything like an actual name that everybody and myself can be comfortable with. So landed on Benji with the period, because no explanation needed. I am who I am, and there's nothing else like it.
A name that you didn't like so much, you end up embracing later because it just made more sense. When you get older, some things just make sense.
Yeah, it just makes sense, and it was funny when I switched. All my friends from like middle school and elementary and high school, everybody that called me Ian, they just started calling me Benji, like that was my name from the jump.
Oh, to think you didn't even like it, and now it's like,
it's crazy how that works.
Yeah, so everybody knows you. Like, that's crazy. Yeah,
and so crazy. I'm trying to figure out, all right, what's my social media handles going to be? Because can't just go by Benji, and they don't allow punctuation. So I was going through a whole bunch of stuff, trying to be clever, and it was cool and it wasn't. And then I remember, I think I was just rewatching the Avatar cartoon. And
so good.
It's so great. The live action was all right, but the cartoon was just.
I didn't like Legend of Korra, but that's a whole nother.
I got you. I think me and my DJ Slim, we were living together in Lawrenceville.
Shout out Slim.
Shout out Slim the DJ, and he was cooking up. We were cooking. I was like on shrooms or something, I think, and we were just having this conversation about it, and it just clicked in my head. And he was like, yo, you're kind of like the Avatar, because you play a lot of instruments, you write, you rap, you sing, you produce, you engineer, and you just know how to put it all together. And I'm like, that's amazing. And then AvatarBenji was born. So
for the people that understand, he's based it off The Last Airbender. And it's just, although, even for marketing, it's smart, because when I search AvatarBenji, of course the Avatar stuff comes up, and it's just like, well, damn, he's just right there, and and we know Airbender's up here, so it's just like, okay, now I can get some of that too. So even marketing, that was just smart. Okay, now, all right. So do you have another project other than Smile You're Alive out, or you're building up to that project, like Josephine and those songs?
I don't have another. I'm working on an album.
Okay.
But I have the last EP I dropped, Love Gun. We dropped that in October.
Okay.
My next EP is almost finished. It's getting mixed and mastered right now.
So you recently dropped EP. So it wasn't. Smile You're Alive is the last.
Last album. Yep.
Okay.
First and only album so far.
And okay, so let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I know, of course, I've messaged you like thousands of times. I've commented thousands of times. You already know what my favorite song is. But let's just talk about the person that you have that's like kind of narrating throughout the how do you say his name? Is it Saguru?
Sadguru, Sadguru, you know, I just chalk it up to my accent or my American whatever dialect.
So he's a motivational speaker, correct?
Yeah, like he's a guy that sees the world very beautifully, you know, and there's a lot of simplicity in what he says, but that's just kind of like how life is. It's simple. It's not easy, right? People are the ones that mess it all up. You know what I mean? And make it as complex and complicated as it is today. But life is simple, and he views it that way, and he speaks it that way. And so I remember I was, you know, I had let me not play it lightly. I was very depressed. I was young. I think I was about 23. And I was very depressed. You know, failed suicide attempt. And I'm walking back to my crib, you know, kind of disappointed in myself, which is crazy to say.
You would never think like somebody that just is, okay, just
yeah, no, I get you. I get you. It happens to everybody. A lot, not everybody, but a lot of people. You know, but he's the first thing on YouTube that I see. I don't know how, and he's like, "What's the most important thing in your life right now?"
That you're alive.
That you're alive, and I'm like, "Get the."
Isn't it so? Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, there's no way. There's no way." And so I watched that whole video, and if my memory serves me correct, the video in length was about 3 minutes and 16 seconds. My birthday is March 16th, 3/16. And I'm like, all right, this is getting way too coincidental. And so I'm like, I had some songs like already made because I was already working on that album. I didn't have a name for it yet, but I had some songs that were, you know, that were already like being worked on for that project. But once I found him, and I went through a deep dive of all his stuff, and I'm like, whoa.
And so you weren't expecting to put him into the album. This was just you in the beginning stages of finding him and just going through his content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was just gonna be songs, because at the time I was the album had started out as kind of like where my life was, because at the time I was supposed to be a father, right? Took a DNA test.
Which you say if they've listened to the album, you say all of this.
Went the opposite way. And you know, a young father is nothing to, you know, make fun of, laugh at, slouch. Like that's a big deal, right? And so it was life changing going through the process up until, you know, afterwards. And I think, you know, I was able to kind of identify some trauma there after the fact that it took a while to kind of like deal with, because I was prepared, I was ready. But yeah, he wasn't originally supposed to be a part of it until I found him, and I was like, okay, I think I figured it out. You know, at least at that point in my life, I figured it out.
Well, all right. So now that you said that, it's kind of like, all right. So I'm gonna kind of segue it over, because Rain is specifically, and no, I listened to the whole album, but it's just like you placed that song in the beginning because you know anybody who first his voice is going to capture you, and then you hear the song. It's like how you set that up is perfectly, and the fact that you even said that like you were going through things when you're making this album is crazy, because you don't know this from a can of paint, bro. When I'm feeling down, there's a couple like a playlist, a couple songs that I like to listen to. It's like Rain by you, Good News by Mac Miller, and a couple songs by Desiree, Crazy Maze, Feel So High, and You Gotta Be. And those are just songs that, like, you know, you can feel it. You can feel like, okay, everybody goes through things, but this is to uplift you. Yeah. And then you have the sound, like your sound is just, it just like, it's positive, if that makes sense.
You know, I'll give my brother a lot of credit. Shout out to Christo, because originally I had that song at the end. I had Rain at the end of the album originally, and I played it for him. I think he was in town from tour, and came to my house. I played it for him. He was like, "Switch that," but that has to go at the beginning.
Has to.
And another funny thing is that, you know, when I did that, you know, I had I was in the process of switching up some of the lyrics to that song.
What, to make it less personal or more
No,
personal?
not less personal, but like it to reflect more of the fact that I'm not a father. But it was perfect. It was perfect that I didn't, because when I made the song, that was the case. Like, this child was mine. And so here's how my life went after that. That was kind of the point. And then my equipment got stolen, and I just couldn't change anything at the time. So, but shout out to him for, you know, always having such a great
so
year.
that's why I said I thought I gave my own dad a grandbaby. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So at the time, oh my gosh, that's just shocking. All right, but there's the lyric, and I think I'm saying, I'm sorry, you put me on the spot. It's the
okay.
On my shoulder, Frito-Lay, I eat a chip a day.
Yeah.
All right, so I just got that bar. I've listened to this song 1,000 times, and I just got that bar when I was listening to it one day. It's like, my shoulder. Oh my God, a chip a day. I eat a chip a day, chip on my shoulder.
Chip on my shoulder, yeah.
So when you were making this song, bars like that, how do you come up with that and add in the personal into it to combine and it all works?
Man, I'm an open book, bro. Like, I'm always as painful and cringy as it is, I'm vulnerable. Especially in my art, it's the best place for me to put it. It's like it's an open journal, public journal, or a diary, whatever you want to call it. Because there are so many more people who can resonate, you know, all across the world, that if I don't share, some more people might feel like they're alone. So, in a sense, I won't say it's easy. It's not easy opening myself up that way, you know, because I even talk about drug use. I even talk about, you know, my alcohol problems back then, and like, that's not hard, you know, because then you open yourself up, obviously, to the criticism and people making fun of you and, you know, the whole nine, and that's never fun. But also, like, you know, I can't fake the funk, you know, and then shoot, you could probably see it on my face anyway, you know what I mean? Like, but I think to me, it's less about being clever, right? Because you're not gonna really see me ever be like an acrobat with like lyricism or anything like that. It's kind of just as blunt as I can put it, but I like being witty in a way. So like, on my shoulder, like a chip a day, you know what I'm saying? Like a chip on my shoulder, like Frito-Lay. I'm like, that's kind of funny.
Even how you sang it though, like, you know, it's just it was just a whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I like doing stuff like that. But, you know, it makes sense.
So I mean, all right, we'll get back to the music, but I want to hear what your perception right now of is Pittsburgh, because a lot of people are saying it's changing. Yeah. So tell me what you've seen before versus you see now, and then we'll drop right back into the music.
Yeah, man.
Because you're this is why I don't understand your perspective, because you're from a different crowd, of a crowd that supports each other. Yeah. So you might not have seen it the same. No, I'm being honest.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. I remember, I mean, growing up, Pittsburgh notoriously was like cliquey, and, you know, it still is. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, when I was moving, you know, throughout my music career here, you know, I just found it's almost like going to another part of town, right? Like, you got the east side, you got the south, you got the north. You know, I don't know if anybody really goes to the west for anything, but, you know, shout out to the west. I don't mean to hide. I don't mean to, you know, I'm not
shout out to the west. Shout out to
the west. I love Pittsburgh. But I just found like this crowd that I really resonated with. It was very artsy, right? It's very musical. But a lot of my friends from like high school and middle school, like, we kind of reconvened in this crowd. Like, you know, shout out DJ Femi. I've known her since 6th grade. She went to, you know, Kappa High School, and I think she went to Cal U after that. And I hadn't seen her, you know, for years. And then I started popping out to these events and these parties. You know, they're throwing these parties at the museum. They're throwing these events all over the place, really, in Lawrenceville and stuff like that. And then I'm rekindling old friendships with a lot of people who are also creatives and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And it felt good because it was a lot of support. It was a lot of, like, yo, whatever you need me to do, I got you. Or just showing up, right? Like so and so's DJing over at Spirit, or there's something going on at Boom. Shout out to Thomas and DS Kinzel. Like there's something going on somewhere. We're pulling up just cause, you know what I'm saying? Because we're supporting each other because they support us. So it's more of a, what's being poured into us, we want to pour back into them. And then it helps. Shout out to Clara Kent. She had a spot called Flow Lounge. And, we used to go to her spot all the time, you know what I mean? Because they were throwing events. But we would just show up. Not even trying to get on or nothing like that. It's just something for us to...
It was normal.
It was normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was normal to support. And I know, like that's a large part of why I was able to go where I was able to go in my career. You know what I mean? Because I had the support of the city, basically, and I had the support of my friends or of,
okay.
people.
Because like you're not going to admit it, but you're right. You are supporting. No. Yeah. It is supporting your friends, but yeah. The first time I met you, I knew it. Like, there's just certain like star power that people have that not everyone can like imitate. It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, that's
you can be as humble as you want, but let's just be honest here. There's a certain star power you have. Yeah. So you add that on to the amount of musical talent you have, it just puts you on another level. So even if people don't recognize you in your city, you're going to get recognized somewhere.
And I think that too. Everybody recognized it and told me and continued to tell me.
I didn't know you from a can of paint, and I knew it.
Like, it was something that, on one hand, I like, get out of here, man. I'm just happy to be here kind of thing. And then, I was a different monster on stage with my band or with Slim, I know it. You know what I mean? Like, I know it. I'm different. I'm him. I'm that guy. But also, it to me, it's not even about that. It's like, Pittsburgh can have a champion in me, but also, like, it can show what is capable, right, of anybody that wants to pursue this dream, right, this career, this passion, right, this purpose. And when you put it all together, like, you can have somebody like me, you can have somebody like Mac, you can have somebody like Wiz, you can have somebody like, Lena Horne, you can have somebody like Errol Garner, you can have all the legends we've had, over a century.
Y'all all have one thing in common. Y'all left.
Who
threw out you named that list, not me.
Yeah. All right.
Y'all come back, but y'all left.
I think that's necessary. Let me not discredit that, because you got to go see the world, man. Like, I didn't leave to move, and I honestly didn't even know like where I was gonna end up. When I like went to Atlanta or anything like that.
So it wasn't really planned out. It was just you knew the basics.
Actually, I was gonna. So after I got back from my first tour in 2019, right before COVID hit, I was actually gonna move to LA, and COVID shut that down. And then I ended up going to Atlanta right before travel got restricted, and that's how I ended up on the Spillage Village album, because I went straight to that house, and we recorded that album in that house while everything was locked down. Then I joined the group, we put the album out, and then I just stayed in Atlanta.
Okay, so Spillage Village.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Let's go.
All right. The versatility through this group is crazy.
Man, there's nothing like us.
How?
There's nothing like us.
You could just walk me through the playlist. I'm not even going to stop you. Just how did it happen?
Yeah.
So much talent.
Yeah.
So many people that I've known, like Slack. Is it Six Slack? Black.
Yeah.
You're not going to know this. I know him from a song he had with Finn, and people don't even know who Finn is. Ooh. Oh, he had a song with Finn. That's how I found him. Calling My Phone with TJ. Mm-hmm. And then Earth Gang, you kind of just hear random girls that you're dealing with play him all the not to say it like that, but they just love him. It's like Brent Faiyaz and Earth Gang. It's just like they just love him.
That's hilarious.
And then Pittsburgh, Benji. Everybody knows I met you through the Mimosa, right? That's what's called Mimosa. Yeah. That was a huge song. Like, Wade used to play it consistently.
Yep.
The group, and there's more people I'm leaving out. Just tell me how it worked. I'm sorry I got so excited.
Nah, you good. You good.
Crazy, bro.
You good, man. So it started long before I got there. I think if legend serves me correct. It started with Jid and Earth Gang because they went to college together, and in Atlanta, or wherever they went to college at. I don't know, but they went to college together, and I think it formed from there with Jordan Bryant and JB, their brothers from Baltimore. They were in Atlanta at the time. I think JB went to school with them too, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not messing this up. But then Black and Mariba, like they were putting out projects over this time too as well, and stuff like that. And then during COVID, I'd fly to Atlanta because they're already working on the Spilligion album. Like they're already working on it. So my management and my brother were like, "Yo, come out to Atlanta, and get some work in on this project." I'm like, okay. I'm nervous as all fucking hell. Excuse my language, because I'm like, I just finished my first national tour, 2 months, like, killed it. Me and Slim, killed it every night with Guap Dad, Duckworth, Earth Gang, killed it. And so I'm on a high.
So you knew him before?
So I knew Earth Gang before. I knew both of them from tour, but we also share the same. We share the same management.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I signed with them, since the '80s in June of 2019, they were going on their first headline run off of their Mirrorland album, and so I was the opener, first dude out the gate. And then the first half of the leg was Duckworth, and then the second half tour support was Guap Dad 4000. So I already had a prior relationship with them because I had toured with them for 2 months. My brother is JID's DJ and one of his main producers. So I knew of him. That was my first time meeting him, basically. And never met Mariba up until that point. I met Black the last day we were recording. But basically, so I go out there and I'm sleeping on all the rooms in the house were taken at the time. It was a big ass house. I think on the west side of Atlanta. All the rooms taken. So I find this couch in the basement, and so I park it there. And there's 2 studios in the house, but every room kind of has its own setup. You know what I mean? So like, there's just all this shit going on. Excuse my language. I'm really trying to like stop cussing. We're just at this point now. It's just us, right? Because COVID shut down travel. We're in the house, like no going outside. It's a virus out there. Everybody's gonna die. You know what I mean? Like we're there
when it was really scary.
When it was really scary. When no one had any idea what was going on. It's just us in the house. And so for a while, I don't think we were really working for a while because we were just confused watching the news. We're playing PS3, PS4, whatever the hell it was. Something. We was playing games. We was playing a bunch of Monopoly and stuff because we were just like, this is crazy.
It brought people together, though.
Heck yeah. And that's how that album worked out because it was just us. And then, bouncing from room to room to room, studio to studio in the house, and we're just cooking up. And then we were done. They opened up the world again, and I came back here.
So when was the because you, of course, it's natural that they were going to work with you. You're amazing talent. But when was it that they were like, okay, we want you to be a part of the group?
So
and did you get asked, or did it just happen?
It just happened. Okay, at least to me, it just happened. But here's how I found out. We're on a group chat, and there's a draft of the album cover for Spilligion, and I look, we all got bear masks on and stuff, and I look at one, and I'm like, that kind of looks like me. Huh. All right, I guess I made the project. All right, I guess I made the album, and then there was a tweet Zeke had put out like, Benji's the newest member of Spillage Village. And I was like, oh, okay. So
that's probably a discussion they had, and we're like, yeah, absolutely, we need him.
Yeah, I think there was like a vote or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, but it was really cool, shocking in a sense to kind of find out the way that I did. But it was cool. It always makes for a good story. But it was really cool just to like
finding out
go
for a
through
tweet
that.
is like a draft
Yeah,
day
it's crazy. I mean, that's kind of like how free agency's been going, you know,
Yeah,
these last few years too.
exactly.
So it's like, you know, everybody just finding out in the last few minutes and stuff. But I'm super great. That like,
So how does it work? Or so what's the relationship to the J. Cole thing? Is it he under? How does it work?
no, so that Jid and Earth Gang are signed to Dreamville. You know.
Okay, and Dreamville's
Dreamville's-
Spillage Village is separate. How does it?
Nah, so we got a push from Dreamville because 2 artists are signed to them. So we were kind of getting pulled from everybody's situation, which is really dope to make it work and stuff. I only wish we were able to like tour that project, but COVID like really.
It seemed like everybody was on the brink of doing something crazy, and it was just like COVID. It was like,
man,
I wish I was creating content during that.
Yeah, same. I wish I wasn't such a idiot, during that time, and just
We got comfortable. Everybody did.
Yeah, it was And now look,
but
look,
it worked out though. It definitely worked out.
Yeah, man.
So I like. It's kind of hard to. I'm trying to bounce in between music and personal a little bit here.
Yeah.
So how are you like mentally? How's everything going? Because your career is obviously going well. We all see it, and then of course there's a whole much more music we still got to get to. I keep saying that, but it's true. How are you doing? Like, are you okay? Is everything going good with you, bro?
I'm glad you asked. It's hard, bro. It's really hard. The last 5 years, on one hand, weren't the most ideal. Everybody can toss blame around to whoever. I don't really care. And on the other hand, just the way I look at life, I'm like, I don't think there's a better position to be in than where I'm at currently. Like, literally today, I don't think there's a better position for me to be in to really maximize everything that I could potentially accomplish even going forward. It's hard. Like, this is a passion pursuit. For me, this is not glamorous. This is not I'm not for anything other than like what I'm able to give to people as an artist, how I'm able to serve. Right, and all my best work seems to come from like how my life ends up going. You know what I mean? But that's just the best way for me to work it out.
Personal experiences and dark.
Yeah, man, and everybody doesn't have to be like that. Like that route as an artist is not for everybody. Like some people are meant to be entertainers and are really good at it, and that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them. I am. I'm very passionate about what I do. I was born to do this. This is my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely wholeheartedly believe that. And that's why I've been able to do everything I've been able to do with little to no money, hands tied behind my back, half-assed or whatever the case may be, because this is what I have been called to do.
So all right, how do you do it, bro? Like, how do I make it? Like, because you've done it, and it's kind of. I
haven't done anything.
Don't understand it.
I haven't really done anything,
and but I tell that to people who look at me and ask me the same thing. So it's just like, somebody has to know the keys here. Is it really just keep going? Is that really just the answer?
Yes, because you'll find your answer. You know what I mean? There's no the answer. There's no one way. There's no X, Y, and Z. If you do it step by step like this, follow this blueprint, you will make it. Everybody would, if that was really the case. There's a reason why your face looks the way it does and my face looks the way it does, and I'm not as tall as my dad or my brother or she's got it. There's a reason why we're all very uniquely made. There's a specific thing for us. You have to keep going to find it, because it don't matter if I was any more successful than I am earlier. That does not guarantee fulfillment. You dig what I'm saying? There is a reason why my life has panned out the way that it has. And for me to be fulfilled, I have to keep going in the manner that I'm going. And I have to keep growing in the manner that I'm growing. And there's a reason why I came home, because I have to reconnect back to that little kid who found music and was like, that's what I want to do. With no questions asked, no answers to nothing, no care in the world.
The original inspiration.
The original inspiration, the original source of the why. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do that anywhere else, being in Atlanta, being in LA, in New York. It don't matter, right? There is a reason everybody is who they are, right? So there's no answers. There's, how would I put it? Maybe suggestions, but there's perspective, right? I can offer you a perspective or a way on how I see things based off my experiences.
But that might not mean it will work for me, though, is what you're saying.
Is what I'm saying. Okay. But what you can take away are principles, right? So the act of keeping, like, keep going, right? That's a thing for anybody, anything. When I was an athlete in college, like, there was a lot of barriers and obstacles or whatever in the way of my first championship and then my next one. And like, if I didn't keep going, I never would have won them. You know, and I'm a two-time champ, two school records still to this day, almost 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Duquesne. But
they're in the. That's a random. They're doing good right now. The
hoops. Yeah, the hoop team. Yeah. Facts. But it's like, you know, it's not going to be easy, and it's so simple to say, but that's also life. It's simple, right? The things you have to do, the things you have to get over yourself, and the things you have to, like, tweak, work on, like, those things are simple. That doesn't mean easy, but this is one way you have to do it. Here's another way you have to do it. Here's another way you have to do it, or you could do it. Not have to. Let me rephrase. There are so many ways, so many paths you can take, so many ways to align. The main thing is that you have to try, right? And you have to give it all. And by doing that, you learn how much you actually have to allocate as far as, like, energy, effort in this area, and energy and effort in this area, and so on and so forth. I was a dude that was trying everything. That's why I could play so many instruments, because I was just trying stuff.
So you can play ample instruments here. So the ones I'm aware of is the guitar and the piano. So what comes after that?
Drums, bass, piano. I played the flute in concert band. I've played steel drums before. I wouldn't call that a proficiency.
Those are like the Jamaican.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm proficient in drums, bass guitar, and piano.
All right. So drums here, percussion, correct? Okay. All right. So I know this is a dumb question, but it might not be. No, so you do know how to read music?
No.
So you're you're Nick Cannon out here, basically.
Yeah.
You can just hear it and play the sound.
Yeah. When I was in concert band, when I was playing the flute, you know, we had to sight read. But I would just memorize the sections. And we're playing stuff like Star Wars. You know what I mean? We're playing, like, very lengthy stuff. So I'm just, like, memorizing the sections on the sheet and how they sound, and then the coordination of the notes, and then just playing it, you know.
So now you can do that with all those instruments.
Basically, but it kind of just, I'm so used to the sound of things, right? Like, a note is a note, you know. An A is always going to be an A. And so I just find, like, especially on the piano, I can't remember what I'm doing, but I just remember how it sounds. And then when I figure out how it sounds, I know the next sound I'm trying to do. And then I figure that out. And then I just memorize it. And then it's gone. And that's kind of the beauty of it, because, like, I always figure something out every time I play something.
So you can produce and engineer your own tracks basically now. So you don't really need to step outside the box to ask people unless you want a certain sound that you can.
Now, see, this is where people get messed up, because
I can. School me. I'm listening.
Yes, I can produce and engineer and record my own music. Doesn't mean I should. all the time. Collaboration is how this all works. Talking and working with people is how this really works, right? You can do it all on your own, but that means it only goes so far, right? Imagine me working on a project, because I produced like 80% of Smile You're Alive by myself. I recorded and engineered the whole project. It could be a lot better, so, you know, don't
I
think
thought it
it's
was
like,
pretty good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
But
I'm dead serious.
it's like working with other perspectives, other people who see the world differently, right? Brings in a uniqueness to the world you're building. So yeah, if you want to, and sometimes all you have to do is that. And if you can make that happen, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. And if this entire body of work is all it needs is this, and it's great, fine. But there's so much more that something can be collaborating with other people. And you know, my next project is being engineered right now in New Orleans, where I made it, and working with those guys and having those professionals put their hands on something that I worked on brings an entirely different approach to it. You know what I mean? And perspective to it, because they're hearing it differently how I heard it in my head, right? And so they're able to work how they work with something that didn't come from them.
And create a whole new sound.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it might be the slightest thing, but that makes all the difference. So it's not that I don't need anybody else, because I do. But I'd be a fool to only rely on my hands. There's only 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Imagine 4. Imagine 8. Right? Like, imagine what you could build with a team of people. Imagine what you could build with just.
But you didn't. You all right. So for your team, it's kind of like they came to you though. Yeah. You didn't really come to them. Right. It's like you worked with them, but as far as being a part of the group, you were not asked to join, but essentially asked to join. You weren't going to say no.
No, I wasn't going to say no.
Okay.
It was one of those things too. Like, you know, they knew what could potentially bring something out of me. Like, let's call a spade a spade. It's business. Mm-hmm. So if I'm investing in this artist and I have this going on over here, yeah, let's get him over here and, you know, see what he can do. And if it works, it works. And it's going to be great. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But if you don't try, you don't know. But it's kind of just, yeah, like plug and play, because we have this, so let's try and make it happen.
Okay, so one of the most recent songs that you guys did do as a group, and when you guys were pushing, well, not most recent, but when you guys were pushing it, I'm not gonna lie, I was confused. I was like, what is all this Waterboy stuff? Like, because like you gotta understand, everybody's confused when you're posting this, because like we didn't know where it was gonna go. Like, I didn't know of the song, so maybe if somebody knew the song, they might have, but I didn't know anything. I'm like, what the hell? It's like he's on the set. At first, I thought you were in an actual movie. Like, that's how it looked to me. And then the Bobby Boucher album comes out. Just mind-boggling. The video, the sound, just play it just makes you want to jig and just do your thing.
Yeah.
So tell me the process in making this. Did you know it was gonna blow up? You on the hook alone?
Yeah.
Like,
we were in Atlanta. I want to say December of 22.
Sheesh.
We were doing since the 80s was doing a recording camp. So we were there. Shout out to Latrell James and Ted Boyd. So we were just session in the A room at T.I. studio, and they played the beat, and immediately I had the hook, and so I was like, all right, let me cut it. So I cut it, and you know, Doc from Earth Gang gave me like the what water. He gave me that part. But I wrote the hook right then and there. Well, I just recorded the hook right then and there.
Mm-hmm. It was already in your head.
Yeah, it was on the spot.
Got you.
And I don't really do that. Like, I like to write over time. You know what I mean? Like, it's rare these days that I like have something immediate to like really contribute that might stick. But the energy there was just like, that day was just really like high. Mm-hmm. So it was nice to really be a part of that flow. But yeah, I recorded the hook right then and there. Doc did his verse right then and there. And then, shoot, I want to say, I don't know how much later, maybe like April. Oh shoot, yeah, cause we did. No, yeah. I don't remember when Olu did his verse, but it was done, and then we knew, or at least I knew it was on the verge of coming out, because we ended up doing it at Dreamville Fest and Coachella.
Oh my God, this man, and we're talking. This is. There's my problem with talking to people of your stature, bro. You guys, I'm cool with the humble at Coachella. Like, bro, come on. Like, that's huge. Dreamville Fest. Like, there's people that go crazy to go to Dreamville Fest and Coachella. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry. It's just how you casually said it.
That was an amazing experience for me, because that was my first. I was just getting off of that year. 22 was my second and third tour, but my first 2 tours as a musician. So that fulfilled a whole lifelong kid dream of mine. When I first started playing music, I wanted to tour as a musician. Thought I was going to be on drums, ended up being on bass, which is crazy. But we were just getting off the tour with, we opened for the Gorillaz. It was an arena tour. And then we
Arena?
Oh yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts.
And you were playing bass every
night. It was nuts.
Which one do you like better? Do you like, because I know it's easier to just be having to play music versus having to perform and give like
It's two different energies. Because I love performing my own music. You know, that's why I make it. You know, and if you're smart as an artist, you make music that translates from the studio to the stage. But it's a different, when you're the lead guy, like, it's a whole different type of show for me, because I get to interact with the crowd myself, interact with my band or my DJ, or, you know, whatever the situation might call for. When I'm on bass, man, I don't got to say no words. I don't got to talk. It's just me and the music. And the cool thing about tour, like, you're playing the same thing every night. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, here and there, I might find, like, a cool other way to kind of, like, play this same song. And then you just run with that for a minute. But
so it's more like, when you're performing and you're lead, you're free with expression. But when you're on bass, you're just musically just kind of free with the notes and just kind of doing your thing.
Because that's how I talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm performing my music and my lyrics, and it's cool because it's in front of people, hopefully, who either know who I am or people who we're just now being formally introduced, in a sense. So, like, I get to introduce myself to a crowd, or I get to reintroduce, but we get to share in a moment. You know what I mean? When I'm on bass, that's how I talk, and that's how I communicate with somebody. I'm helping bring somebody else's music to life through this performance and this production, and this is my language in it.
All right, look, we kind of trailed off from the record there a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so now I need to know, you kind of told us how it kind of went down a little bit.
Yeah.
But as far as the video, the idea for the video, how did that come about?
That was all Earth Gang and Doc. I believe that was his treatment for the idea. With
the Dreamville jerseys and everything, and
yeah, I mean, they had it all planned out, and then they hit me and were like, "Hey, we're gonna shoot this video. We need you in Atlanta."
Oh, so you're never excited or like, oh my God, I can't believe this, or is it more of like, all right, I can't be excited right now because I have to go into work mode?
I'm always excited, like it, bro. I am enjoying the dream. You know what I'm saying? I really am. The good, the bad, the ugly, the great. I am enjoying it because who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Like,
who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
I can't wait to say that. I can't wait to be right there with you. I'm gonna be there soon, bro.
And I say that, you know, with full, also like, full confidence in myself that like, I have always been capable of doing everything that I've done. I've never been like, oh wow, that's a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who the hell I am. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, man, that's really cool. You know, but also it's like, shit, I got to get on a plane in 2 days.
So when you're living it, you don't have time to really.
In a way, yeah, because like I don't want to say like act like you've been here before, but it's like you got a job to do. You know what I mean? But it is cool. What was really cool about the shoot, like all the crowd, like those are all fans. So Earth Gang invited all their fans to the shoot. So that's everybody who's either known each other from shows or, who are all just fans of Earth Gang and stuff, and Spillville and myself. So it was just cool interact. That was a really cool, fun shoot. Not
Earth Gang's 2 people, right? Or
yeah,
just one?
yeah, Doc and Olu.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
2 people.
So, because I was like, I don't want to mess up like and do the Travis Porter type thing.
Oh
bro.
God,
you think
yeah,
it's just
no,
one person?
No,
yeah, okay.
It was 2 people.
All right, so I don't know. It seems like you have a lot of females' names as your songs. So, bro, I mean, when I do
3.
my research, I tried to ignore it, but
only
it's blatantly.
3.
All right. So that's a lot, bro. People don't even get that clout usually, bro.
Oh my God.
So are these characters you made from figments of your imagination, or are there real people? And if you need me to edit this, I'll edit it.
Nah.
Okay. I'm just being honest.
So all right, I'll give you the backstory of each one. So Georgia. I made Georgia in 2017. Mm-hmm. Coming back from, it was like my first trip musically from LA. And shout out to my guys Gianni, Damon, Nice Rec, who produced it. Sent it to me, and we cut a demo in 2017, and I think we didn't put it out until 22.
And then the video didn't come out until like what?
Yeah, around the same time.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was just, Georgia is nobody in particular, but it's a representation of like new love, right? Like giving it a shot again, and in a sense, like, don't be scared to love me or who I might have been or who you think I am. Like, I'm not trying to waste your time. You know what I mean? Georgia was just like, it just fit, phonetically. It just fit, and it kind of made sense because Georgia on my mind, and I like the spelling of Georgia Smith's name, so I just used the J instead of Geo.
Regular, yeah.
Sade was just fun. That's nobody in particular either, but it was just like, Sade, will you say I do? Like, you my Sade, like Sade I do. So I was just having fun with lyrics.
No, hold on. Sorry, no, because I will forget this. There's a song that you do have on the album, and I was just I should have wrote it down. That was the one thing I forgot. Do you have a snippet, or you took a piece of Erykah Badu's song from one of your songs, or am I tripping? I gotta read. I swear I heard it. I can't remember what song it was though. It's just a little bit. It sounds like, or you might have just done it by like on instinct. Once I get to the crib, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna figure it out and send it to you. And then if I'm tripping, I trip. But go ahead. We're on the end of Georgia now.
Yeah. So Georgia was just a representation of just new love, giving it a shot.
That's why the video was like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sade was just having fun with lyrics, and play on names and words like Sade.
Then Josephine.
And then Josephine.
So that's the bougie song out all over.
So Josephine started, we made that at the Since the 80s camp as well. Mm-hmm. Josephine started because I used to live on Josephine Street on the south side.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So it has nothing. Okay.
At first, no, it had nothing to do with shit.
Okay.
But as we were coming up with this EP and the rollout and stuff, like, and the game show and everything, like, it was kind of a cool idea to kind of make a narrative out of it. Mm-hmm. So Josephine represented like home to me. It was like that old flame, that like you never really got over, didn't really work out earlier on, like nobody was just in the best space, but it's not like y'all hate each other kind of thing. It just reminds you of home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that old school, like, kind of love that like you really miss. So that's what Josephine was like. And I think that's it.
When you did there was the videos that you were posting on Instagram was like this, like the 80s type vibe.
Yeah.
So that, but what was that for though? Was that just for promotion?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to end up being a video that was going to be exactly like that.
Yeah. Nah.
So you tricked us.
Basically.
That's fucked up, bro.
Or
I'm sorry,
I keep getting told that I fucked that whole rollout up. I don't care. But
I don't disagree. I think it was beautifully set out.
Thank
the
you.
videos you dropped, the outfits were thought out, marketing wise.
Yeah.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, but it was the point of it was a game show, right? So like you have Sade, you have Josephine, you have Georgia, and it's your choice. It's the option of who to love without necessarily knowing the how, right? So it's a game. You know what I mean? And it's your pick of the litter. You get to go out on a date with this one, see how it's like, try it out. Go on a date with this one, see how it's like, try it out. And then when we get to Josephine, it's like, oh, this is familiar. This is familiar love. Oh, I know who you are. I remember you. Oh, wow. Oh, damn. I didn't think I'd see you. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. It was fun. That was a very fun shoot. Shout out to Tony and everybody and Maddie who put it all together.
That's one thing I do know is like, I know you probably you didn't mean to say it like that, but in the song, I just know it's going to be like that. There's going to be the shorties you think you want, you're going to be like, damn, I just should have stuck with the one that actually fucked with me.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. Like, you know, we don't know what we want, or what do they say? We don't know what we have till it's gone type of thing. Like, I done lost plenty of people, whether it was like in a relationship or friends or, you know, people who really had my best interest at heart, or people who really loved me or liked me or whatever the case may be. And like, you know, I went on and did
give me some quick advice here. Because you've been touring, you've gone around, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Give me some advice here. Is it better that I pick my shorty now and just grow? Bro, chill, because I be seeing like what everybody goes through once they make it, and I don't want to go through that.
Nah, bro, like, first off, fuck all the toxicity. Fuck trying to be a player. Fuck, excuse my language. I keep forgetting. Like that. All of that is just gonna mess you up in the long run anyway. I don't care how many women you can pull. I don't care like what you can get away with. Like get rid of all that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If you're ready to love, like give, right, yourself to somebody, it's not about what you gain. And I've learned this every which way you can. You could figure it out. Then because love itself is simple. I keep saying this. It's simple, right? By nature, it's an inside job that goes in and out, right? We make it difficult because of wants, right? We make it difficult because like, oh, she's different. Oh, she got that. And we get flooded with all this different types of thing. Now, this is only like relationship speaking. If you want to like get
dabble
into, you know what I mean, a relationship, you have to be ready and willing and able to give love. Then you receive. And that's vice versa, right? That's on both parties. Like, it's a give and receive, as opposed to like receive, then I'll give. That's how you get it all fucked up. God damn it. Sorry.
But when you're young, it seems like I don't know how it was for everyone else. It seemed like every girl wanted me, and there's like once I got older, it's just like, nah.
Man, look, like when
I started grinding, let me connect.
When we're young, bro, we don't know no better, man. Like, we're wide-eyed, we're antsy, you know. So right. We're horny bastards. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't know no better, and we try a whole bunch of shit. You know, we see it from people older than us, so we want to try that too. Like, oh, I saw him do it, or I saw him do it, or like he got away with that. Like, you hear all these stories, and then you get into a predicament where you're kind of able to do that exact same thing. You're gonna put your hand on the stove, see how hot it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to me, I don't know. Only after you kind of like lose, or at least in my case, when you lose something that was very valuable to you because of shit like that, or when you just see it so many times and over and over and over again, where like, you know, it just never works, and you're wondering why you're single, or you're wondering why you're alone, or you're wondering why like nothing's really working. Like, you have to gotta pause. You gotta stop. You really gotta look at it like
Step outside the box.
Yeah, not even just step outside the box. You gotta like look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like, do I really want or like what I think I like? Do I really want what I think I want? Like, is this healthy? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I even give the love I want to receive? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can't, and they want, I want this type of love, I want that type of love, but is that the love you give?
Like I know this is far off from the interview, but even the Diddy thing, people swear up and down that they weren't saying that they wanted to be Carisha last year, though.
Oh God.
And then look, we go. All right, we'll move on. I got you. I ain't gonna do that to you, bro. All right, so when it comes to no, bro, I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
I understand.
All right. So when you run into people, what is the song that you're most known for that you would say they immediately, oh, I heard that song, like?
Oh man, in Pittsburgh it's Mimosa always.
Oh, so I'm not tripping. Okay.
No. In Pittsburgh it's Mimosa. That's how I got on. You know what I'm saying? In 2017, that's how I got on. Everywhere else it's Rain. Or
so I'm not the I want it to be different.
No. Mimosa, Rain, Georgia are like the big three of mine. That people know, or will, you know, tag me in or make videos of, or, you know, that they really like. And then, I mean, the stuff I obviously was on with Spillville. And you know what's even really cool is you know, the song I have with Earth Gang on the Spider-Man game. Like,
I was just
you
just read my mind.
Sorry.
I was coming. All right, go ahead.
You know, there's
How did that come about though? We got to give it a build up.
Yeah. So that was, oh man, talk about pressure. I was in Atlanta. I was at my brother's house and I was just working on some stuff, and I get a text from, well, I don't know the order of who sent it first, but Natalie, shout out to Natalie. She had sent it to me and was like, hey, we need a hook. Kind of urgent. I get a message from Zeke. We need a hook. And turnaround time gotta be fast.
They know you like that.
You know, I look, the way I looked at it, I was like, yo, you know, I met Natalie at the Since the 80s camp. She was, I kid you not, everybody was in all the studios and the big room and stuff like that. I was like, yo, get me out of here. Put me in this little, like, closet lounge. Give me some speakers, and I need him, her, him. And everybody leave me alone. And I was just cooking. And everybody would come past and see us and come hear what we were doing. And we made Josephine in there and made some other records that are really fire. I met Natalie that night, and she was listening to everything we were doing, and she was honestly giving me a lot of, like, encouragement and stuff. You know, her and her company, they're partnered with Disney, and so she gives me a shot. And Zeke, knowing my pen and knowing, you know, what I'm capable of, he's always giving me a shot. And he's like, yo, need this like yesterday type of thing. And I'm like, all right, well, shoot. So I play it, and I'm like, this is different. And it's kind of cool how, you know, music works in the sync world, basically, because it's not really ever going to be your, like, style, right? But you open yourself up to the realm of possibilities. You can do anything. And that's how I've always worked.
But it wasn't even I think it was the Miles Morales. Isn't that his name? Miles
Morales?
It was the black one, the black person game. So it's not even just the fact that you were on one of the black Spider-Man games. That's
it was crazy.
And they didn't even play y'all. They put y'all in the, like, first, like,
they put in the trailer.
They did y'all right, bro.
It was insane. Like, I sent it back that day, or it might have been the very next morning. But I sent it back well within 24 hours. One take, and I think one take. Yeah, I wrote it down though, because it wasn't on some, like, I gotta freestyle this. Hell no, I'm not gonna leave it up to chance like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I just had it, and I didn't want to lose the energy, so I was just like, let's just go for it and see what happens. Sent it. They loved it. They're like, Yeah, you did it. And then they were hitting me like, yeah, this is gonna be in the Spider-Man game, and I was like, yo, what exactly? And
They did. So they probably didn't tell you that beginning. They didn't want to put that pressure on you.
I mean, I knew it was gonna be a part of it. I didn't know where it was gonna get placed. I didn't know it was gonna be the trailer or nothing like that. It was just like, yo, this is gonna be, on the soundtrack, and it's gonna be a part of the game. Cool, great. And then the trailer comes out. That's the first thing I hear, and in the first voice you hear is me on the hook, and I'm like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. My homies with kids, and shit. I was playing the last Spider-Man game. Me and Slim, like, we were playing that game religiously, so it was real full circle for me to be a part of the next game. But I got homies with sons playing that game, loving that song, calling me like, bro, this is amazing. Like, kid loved the song, like, big Spider-Man fan. Like, this is like it was a moment for me to be a part of that.
So that is a moment I don't hear you downplaying. That was real for you.
Because that, bro, like, there's so much in that. Spider-Man's one of my favorite heroes. But like, I kid you not, man. Like, when I was when me and Slim like would be down bad, we used to live together in Lawrenceville. When we would be down bad sometimes, like, we ain't had no gas or whatever. It's just part of life.
Like driving gas or
no,
gas,
I mean like gas in the house.
Okay.
Like, gas is off.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
we have electricity until like we're angry as shit because, excuse my language, we're upset. So we're playing Spider-Man in this cold ass house, taking our aggression on these crazy ass criminals and stuff. So to be a part of the next game, like, me and him were talking about it, like, we just have so many memories with the last game, like, in our career coming up, basically, on, like, with everything that transpired from that point to where I'm at now, like,
there's so
big part of it.
Listen, there's so much more that I have. But listen, we're running out of time, so I do want to say this part of the segment first.
I talk too much. I'm sorry.
No, bro, that's what I want. Like, this is a part of an interview. But Slim, I want to talk about this a little bit because, like, you're talking about an example of something when you were going through something. The shit people don't get to see. Like, they see, and I just made a post, like, stop going based off what y'all see, because, bro, there's journey to things.
Yes.
There's a journey. Yes. Like, you saying something like that, I know it may seem like a way to you, but people need to hear that to see, okay, he went through that. Oh, I'm going through that. And, oh, I can still get there even though I'm going through this.
And it doesn't stop. Let me tell you, like, and shout out to Slim, man. Like, that's my dog. That's my best friend. That's my brother. Like,
you real for that, y'all both real.
I remember when we first linked up, we had our first show together, and we were like, oh, no, this is a thing. Like, there's something here. We got to, and we've been rocking ever since. But, like, even when we were coming up, bro, we were doing shows in basements together, like, crowded-ass, sweaty-ass bases. We were doing shows in front of like, we did it all together, but we went through it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, scrounging up money together to get some food, or shit, we're deep in some struggle or whatever. So the best way we could figure it out was like, all right, we could put like $5 together and go grab a beer or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was just stuff like that. But also the way we practiced in the house at these shows, we're like, nah, if we ever want to tour, if we ever want to grow our shows and get to these bigger stages, we got to put those big shows in this basement. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this small room, like, we have to be an embodiment of what we want to be and where we want to be in front of these 5 people. It does not matter. And then sure enough, we go on our first tour together. You know what I'm saying?
But the first tour, that's one thing. You were touring before you even with Village, though.
Yeah,
you had already done it. I remember it.
Yeah, we had gratefully, we had been able to I think we did like 8 cities on our own, based off of really just how hard we were working. Me and my whole band, like, we all went. We weren't getting paid much, but we put it together. We understood, like, we're gonna have to put in. That's just how that works too. Like, you got to put in, because we want to go and we want to play and we want to introduce ourselves to this other audience who wants us to come. And I remember when we just didn't have any money, and I had to put out a GoFundMe, and I was very embarrassed about it. And Pittsburgh dropped $2,000 in less than 48 hours.
Yo,
in that.
That they're going to do that for someone like you, because you're, bro. Every time I don't. That's why I'm saying every time I've seen you, you've always smiled. You're always positive. Even when I first met you, you were just like mad cool. Like, so if you need help, bro, this city's going to help you.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. Because of the person you are. But a lot of people aren't like that, so that's why they may not get the same.
And that should be a lesson in and of itself, too, because, like, it don't matter what kind of person you are, like, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, like, if I was any more successful before, that doesn't guarantee fulfillment, and that doesn't even guarantee it's going to last, you know? So I'm grateful for this steady climb that I have, but also at the same time, too, man, like, it's so much better when you're a great person. And I have been bad. You know what I mean? Like,
we all have.
We're human, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have done things I'm not proud of. I have done plenty of things that I wish I could take back. But at the end of the day, you know, I have been able to learn, grow, and continue to better myself. And great things keep coming.
All right. My bad. I'm so
all
sorry.
good.
We got to wrap up. But I do want to say this. Wade will kill me. Will kill me if I don't mention the reason why I know you is I met you through him.
Yeah.
So I just got to say that before we wrap up. All right. So one thing I want to say, bro, is like, because I like, not to be on the weird shit, this does nothing for you. Like, so the fact that you even like, or doing this interview for me, bro, like, I know it's not the big of a deal, but this is huge for me, bro. I needed this, like, and you real for that. Facts, you're really real for that.
Oh, man.
And
I appreciate
it. So one thing I want you to do is tell people what you got coming. Yeah. Tell people where they can follow you and all the things that they need to know. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of beautiful things coming. I got a new project in the works. I don't know when we're going to drop it, but it's coming. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Got a lot of music coming, so be prepared for that. You can follow me anywhere on social media at AvatarBenji. You know, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever your streaming platform preference is, Benji with a period. Don't forget that. It's very important because I'm the only one there is anyway. But yeah, man, shout out to Pittsburgh. Shout out to you, man. I'm glad we got to catch up and speak. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Definitely hoping to tap in with you soon and again, for sure. All right.
Appreciate it.
So we just need to take a flick and then I'll let you go.
Most definitely.
Good look, Benji.
No, man. I appreciate you, bro.